Whose cuffs are these on my guy here?
All right. Backseaters, welcome to Mondays with Mike. I wasn't gonna start.
Hang on, St. Paul. Maybe
I wasn't gonna start now, but things are hopping, so I figured I would get going here. The CAT team has one stolen car stopped over by the state capitol right now, and another one that was involved in a robbery stopped over by off of Lexington and Thomas, I believe. So I'm going to head over that way. They got a gun in that car, and some young folks, I understand. So we're going to head that way. You're riding with Undersheriff Mike Martin, and it's Mondays with Mike, or Mighty Mike, as some people say. And unlike most days, I'm actually in plain clothes today because I didn't want to take the time to change quick and throw on my vest for because I wanted to get out and show you what's going on. So hopefully we can get over here before they clear the scene. But we've had it keeps moving and we keep missing it, but a very observant Steve Leiden saw the vehicle and blow it until he got some backup, and now that vehicle is stopped over by the state capitol, and they're taking one into custody there, it sounds like, and I'm on my way to Lex and Thomas to see if we can see the aftermath of this other vehicle that our CAT team was out doing something else this morning and saw the vehicle that had been described in the robbery come by, and they were able to get out and follow the vehicle and set up on it and get the suspects into custody. So for those of you who aren't familiar, Live on Patrol was started a couple of years ago by Sheriff Bob Fletcher, the sheriff of Ramsey County in Minnesota. And we go out 3 times a week at least. Mondays with me, Mondays with Undersheriff Mike Martin, Wednesdays with members of our CAT and Intel staff, and Fridays nights with Bob and Pat and Nicole Sparks, the sheriff Bob and his partner Pat, and Nicole Sparks usually comes on around midnight. And the whole idea is to give you an opportunity to see the inside of what we do for a living here. And well, can't do that. I gotta go around the block here because my street's blocked off. And see if I can on the other side here. Very busy morning. City of St. Paul here. And it was supposed to start pouring rain, so I didn't start earlier thinking it was going to rain. It's held off a little bit here, so we'll see if we can catch up to him here.
We took West 30.
They're in this alley back here. And of course, as always, St. Paul PD are our partners. I don't see any of the CAT team folks out here anymore, so St. Paul must have taken it over. Hold on just a second, I'm going to check with them.
Hey, Miller, did you hear anything about a robbery that's going on right now at Fleet Farm and Oakdale?
So it sounds like the CAT team has turned this over to the St. Paul PD because it was initially their robbery call. And so even though our carjacking and auto theft team operates independently for the most part, we end up in other cities, and of course a lot of our work occurs in the city of St. Paul, the largest city in Ramsey County, and the St. Paul officers are tremendous at backing us up and helping us on perimeters and chasing suspects, and we couldn't do what we do without them. And so I want to make sure that we give them the credit that they deserve. So looks like the CAT guys had all left to go down, I think, with suspects, and St. Paul's out recovering the vehicle and following up on their end. So we're just going to keep going. It's a nice day. It's 83 degrees. It's hazy right now. We're supposed to be getting storms this afternoon. It hasn't rained in a while.
I haven't heard anything. Start down on the border. Sure.
Hey guys, I'm live right now, so let's turn it off for the Intel channel if you have something going.
We're going to start heading to Oakdale for armed robbery.
Copy that. And another stolen over by the state capitol, the one that was being tracked by LoJack, and now they're on on to the next caper, which is looking for a robbery vehicle from the city of Oakdale, which is just east of the St. Paul Maplewood area here. So suburb east.
Second turn off. That gateway trail was clear to 50.
So we're going to keep monitoring.
Right, cleared from my transfer. What do we got going on in Oakdale for robbery? Yeah, no robbery. I think they're trying to locate the suspect nearby.
So because, excuse me, on a statewide that we'll be able to monitor very close.
But it was details for that in at the end of whatever they were putting out.
We are
Right,
work very closely.
The vehicle we've been after was taken by a friend. Went to permission. It's not stolen. She's picking up the vehicle. So, good job on the strong arm robbery, covering those guys with the gun. And we cleared up the low jack with no theft.
All right, so Director Leiden just updated that the low-jacked vehicle was actually turned out to not be a stolen. It was kind of stolen. A friend took the vehicle without permission, but the owner doesn't want to charge, so that vehicle will be returned to the owner. And then and the other case has been turned over to St. Paul. Our guys transported the suspects, and now they're going to be heading up to assist in the Oakdale, Washington County area. So Washington County sits east of us and north of us. Actually, and south of us, it's kind of a long, skinny county, and we work very closely with them.
It sounded like they must be on foot.
And there was a robbery that occurred at the Fleet Farm in the city of Oakdale, and now they're tracking the suspects westbound, which would head them towards our county. So we do work very cooperatively with units that conduct proactive investigations.
6580.
Looking for a black male suspect, 35 age, wearing blue jeans, white t-shirt, red, riding a red mountain bike. Last seen near the gas station, from gas station.
So
Suspect, 35, driving under riding a red mountain bike. Last seen near the gas card, the gas station card, and had a white t-shirt and red.
Red Mountain, close to free, involved 4700 Hadley, station that area, somewhere.
Quiet and let you listen to the radio as pertinent information comes out. It sounds like a black male on a red mountain bike is the suspect right now. So
There's something on one. You gonna call it at all? So we can attach it. Yeah, we'll create one here in a second.
anyway, the weather today calls for strong thunderstorms over the next couple hours, but
has anybody been through 29 Pines yet?
and it hadn't been
David 5 and 6 David
hadn't
6,
started
and
yet,
2.
so I figured I'd jump out while it was busy.
It's David 5, David 6.
So our CAD team is the carjacking and auto theft team. Their job is to find and apprehend people that are involved in carjackings and auto thefts, and also to maintain intelligence on individuals that are auto thieves or carjackers, and work with other agencies as the need arises. We frequently are able to identify suspects from surveillance video or photos that are sent to us from other agencies.
Get a statement.
So hopefully we can get a little work in here before it starts to rain. I know my grass needs it very badly.
Hotel 6595 on event 7.
6597, go.
6595. Have we made contact with Comcast, do you know?
6580, Acknowledge. We need you.
So that Oakdale officer was asking if anyone had made contact with the complainant yet to get further information, and dispatch said there was someone there,
A request for you to check your
an
messages.
officer talking to the complainant.
230.
101447, looking for county 2514.
Sorry about what?
2514, a request for you to call council. Yes, council 22.
Oh.
1448.
So we're headed north on 35E here, and we will be
Female
going
on a bench on Charles.
east on
Contemplating
Highway
acting erratic
36.
Earlier, possibly under the influence of a substance. Been there on and off for 2 days. Black female, hair and braids, white tank top. Yep.
The weather's been extremely hot and dry here. I think it's no surprise that we've had some issues with our homeless, unsheltered folks that are living on the streets, and I think as the temperatures go up and, you know, they're not staying hydrated, we're seeing a lot more issues, medical issues, and as well as, I think, mental illness issues that are probably agitated by the warm weather.
6576.
Vehicle for squads. Was the same bike, not the suspect male. Unrelated.
Copy. Unrelated. Wearing the bike.
Six 4 to 62, Daryl Parker. Good.
Gave the office an update. They said they're there till 5 o'clock if it goes after that, which I wouldn't assume so, but if it does, that whoever can drop off the keys, there's a drop box right in the front door there.
So we're gonna go east now on Highway 36, and we're still in Ramsey County. Heading out, we're gonna cut through the city of Maplewood and the city of North St. Paul, and then right across the border from the city of North St. Paul is Washington County and the city of Oakdale. So oftentimes someone who's an active criminal in Oakdale.
I don't know. The copy for shots fired. Street at the rec center. 4 shots heard in the wooded area behind the rec center.
Any updates from the victim about whereabouts the suspect or direction travel, anything?
No, he met him halfway on the frontage road from Fleet Farm to Gas Mart, and suspect was last seen headed towards Gas Mart. That's the only description there. Management has no camera in tomorrow to do that.
Situations we have is in situations like this where the management on site at a business doesn't have access to the surveillance cameras, and someone else has to come in to do it, and obviously it's not quite as timely, and it would be nice to have good video, but I guess we can't expect them to solve everything for us.
But I didn't cancel anything.
9-159.
So I'm still headed east on Highway 36 here, and we're going through the city of Maplewood, just passing White Bear Avenue, and then the next city will be the city of North St. Paul. With Chief Phil Babenroth is the chief of North St. Paul, a former Ramsey County Sheriff's commander, and just a great guy. I got to do some emergency vehicle operations training with him last Thursday. We were on the same course where we learned how emergency driving and pursuit techniques and scenarios involving emergency driving, and it was fun to see the chief out there.
That's quite good. 3-0.
Express 2715 Long Lake Road to Sid Meyer for a gas leak. No further info.
About to pass on the left-hand side is North High School in North St. Paul, not to be confused with North High School in North Minneapolis. But North St. Paul has the giant snowman, which hopefully you can see up ahead of me on the right.
they can find that mail.
Thank you.
Welcome.
So here's a perfect example of the kind of cooperation we have. Dispatcher just got on and said state is looking through their cameras on the highway.
Could you get that suspect description over to Ramsey County?
So we're now in the area where the robbery occurred, and I'm going to get off up here, and we'll see if we can't look around in the neighborhoods over here and find the bad guy. If you're from another state or another country and you've never been to a Fleet Farm store here, you're missing out. It's one of the coolest stores. I love going to.
If I'm mistaken, or do they say the suspect was last seen southbound Hadley from Concordia? Somebody bad description was provided by a firefighter, I think, in that area.
Fleet Farm has just about everything you could want, from fishing and hunting equipment to food.
Last update I heard, he was seen by the gas mart. No direction of travel.
So we're right in the area where the suspect was last seen. There are squads, marked squads and unmarked cars all over here. And we
Copy, and were you 6 David 1?
will be checking the area.
Confirm 6 David 1 and 6 David 4 are ready to go.
Copy, thank you.
Oh, 425.
Bravo 425.
Can you put me on the target, Suburban?
Copy. 1458.
901, hang up in the area, 2092 First Street. I was in 21 meters. We're getting close to almost full
So
combat.
we're driving by. I can look down the
2272.
side streets and the apartment buildings, and I can see
Updated
that
location,
there's
myself,
squad
35,
cars
trying to
in
make
some of
contact
these
on it.
areas.
Hand it over 35B.
Copy. Located over 35E. 1458.
2492, 4436.
$44.92. 2265. It'll be Little Canada and Purple.
But he said he sounded, or he said he was safe.
Looking at Centerville. 1458.
So we'll keep checking the
Downtown
area here
Sludge
for a
says
little bit
10
and
in
see.
St. Peter for one down by the farmer's market. Putting his legs in the street. Black shirt, black shorts, white socks. I just really. Glad to grab myself from time to time. I'll take that. Copy that.
So I should, while we're on a little bit of
Guys turn
a
around as well.
downtime search here, just say thanks again to Katrina for making a book out of my adventures in Frogland, or Frogtown.
City 81.
Frogtown. It's very cute. I know she was in town on Saturday with
2130
Rev Spence doing some book signings, and I wasn't available to be there because I had some stuff I had to do, but I heard they had a great turnout. And it was a fundraiser for the God Squad, which is a group of
Oakdale 657, are you code 4? Can I make you code 4?
pastors and others that
Yeah, also
help work with families and kids to reduce violence, especially in the aftermath of, violent events. They can go in there and try to convince the young men and women not to be involved in retaliation.
4436, I'm going to be delayed on traffic. Century and correction. Century and Larpenter, Edward North George, 785.
Copy at Century and Larpenter. 4490, copy that.
52 in the area.
1501.
I'm having a hard time reading the comments at all
No
since
medical.
I'm looking for this guy, but I see a lot of happy birthday references. So happy birthday to everyone who has a birthday today or this week.
1502.
Hope you have a great one. Seems to be a busy time of year
881 Geranium Abbey.
for busy time of days and graduation party.
Any idea on like
Say copy, you defend Island Boulevard, 400 block of Cardigan Road, within 19 meters to 1502.
We're southbound on
5282. Squad to clear. Report.
one of the most confusing streets around, which is Division Street, which changes its name several times as you go along.
Squad to assist on a placement of a trail.
This number 206, pick up the Apex at APD over Mill, Sealand County Road H, Road South, 3 vehicle accident, block.
We're gonna head south down onto the east side of St. Paul here.
this black sedan and parking lot has dreads that are down to the smallest back.
Sounds like the
Oakdale 680, just confirm with the victim.
south suspect in this case is in the wind right now.
7 to 8 inches confirmed by the victim.
See what else we can get into here. We've had a very busy
That
weekend.
has eyes on the mail at the North St. Paul gas station. Did you copy that 6780? The victim advised dreads down 7 to 8 inches. I did. The mail's gone now, but he did have earpiece in his ear. I don't know if that helps here. What the victim saw. 6580, copy that.
I got it. Doesn't sound like that's our suspect.
Joey. The suspect in this robbery might be at the gas station at 7th and Century. Again, they're on L230, arrived at 844.
1505.
Oakdale 681. We're going to break down the roaming cars. Thank all agencies for their assistance. Copy. So, copy. Thank you, outside agencies. We're going to break down the roaming cars perimeter, and all squads will be moving back to themselves. That should be tracked.
Williams 0, grab a bite to eat.
So they're breaking down the perimeter. at the Hill graduation with uh, um, not with, they were just a little concerned because the kids march across a busy street, and so they wanted a little help trying to get the blocking traffic while the kids marched across the street. It was a pretty cool event at the St. Paul, which you know how you learn stuff every day. Well, I learned multiple things every day, and I had referred to the St. Paul Cathedral as the Basilica once. And then I learned that it's not that a basilica is a special designation for a church that has some historic significance. So the Minneapolis Basilica is named that because the Pope came there and held a mass at that basilica, and so hopefully I won't screw that one up again. Cathedral is the home church of a bishop, I guess, so, or archdiocese. So I learned a few things.
Looks like the color's not very cooperative. Attempting to follow this email.
It's good to know, not because I'll probably ever use it again in my life, but because it may be a Jeopardy question or a question in a game someday that puts me over the top. So we are on Larpenteur. We're headed westbound. We're in the city of Maplewood now. We just passed Mounds Park Academy, which I should have given a shout out to. Another fine school in this area. I saw someone posted the weakest link. I'm definitely the weakest link when it comes to knowing the difference between churches and how they're labeled. So I am going to go up, should have done this before, but it just popped in my head, and check an address where we believe a stolen vehicle might be while I'm up in this area. We're northbound now on White Bear. Waving at some of my friends here. Young man just came out and waved at me. He always waves when I'm on duty, which is nice to see. So I was, just so you know, I was looking for you and ready to hit my air horn. It's fun to see the young men and young women that appreciate law enforcement and the work that I was going to say we do, but actually the road deputies and the police officers, they're the ones doing the hard work. I drive around a lot, and yes, by the way, he did wave with all 5 fingers, so that was kind of nice. The police officers just respond to people when they're experiencing the worst days of their lives, and they have to go there and try to see if they can resolve a situation and make it safe and in a short period of time, and then they're on to the next call, and oftentimes they don't really have
72 traffic.
enough time to make a difference.
Northbound Hodgson at Lilac Lane. Tom Frank, 665.
Which makes it difficult. Sorry, I'm watching piled up a little bit here in traffic, and I'm kind of watching people to make sure they're stopping and yielding to others, which they don't always do, like that car with that blue truck. We do have some fugitives that we're looking for right now. A couple of them we have vehicle descriptions, but I don't want to tip anybody off by letting them know publicly that we're looking for them, but they know who they are. They know what they've done. We got a murder suspect from Iowa that's believed to be up in this area, and we have a sex offender who absconded from his I don't know what you'd call it, like group home, halfway house, and his conditions of supervised release. We always have stolen vehicles that we're looking for.
Ready for Ford, thank you.
251.
251.
We went to lunch today over at Tom Reed's.
Homeless male waving
I know I
arms
talk
around
about Tom Reed's a
red
lot, but
behavior.
that's because on Mondays they have
Asian male,
chicken
20,
kebabs,
average
which
build,
is their
dark baggy clothes,
special on
dark
Mondays, and we like to go eat there. And Tom was there, got to talk to him for a little bit, and they're getting ready for tonight for the Stanley Cup playoffs, and believe it's game 2. I should have. And so they're getting all ready. They got the patio open, and cooperates. Use some rain now for a little while. It's Maple Leaf around the back of the mall, and check a couple locations. See if any of our friends have left vehicles there. So hopefully they're not watching, but if you are, you better get out of that vehicle, because I'm about to come find it.
179, can I get my case number, please?
179, your case number is 097564.
Copy, thank you.
You're welcome, 1515.
339, copy the 9-1, hang up on the 700 block of Lawson, being within 11 meters, 1560.
I don't know, I'm starting to feel like the weather people screwed this one up again. And we're not actually going to get the rain that we were supposed to be getting. So we're driving down the south border, I guess, of Maplewood Mall on Beam, and we're going to go north on South Lawn here. Busy Metro Transit Center here where people can park and then get on buses and going to different parts of the city. Unfortunately, we see kids hanging out there sometimes. We did have street racers, or I don't know if you'd call them racers, but they were up there doing donuts on the top of that ramp one day. Excuse me. Had a lot of stolen vehicles dumped in this area. So we go to these areas where we know some of our prolific auto thieves live, and sometimes we can tie them to a particular stolen vehicle, and one way or another through video, photos, or we see them and then aren't able to apprehend them right away. And so we will check the areas.
9270.
2515 Manitou Island. There's a mail going door to door for the last half hour so that's being worked. Using a shirt with a company in Echo. White male, 20 years old, good bill.
Sometimes our young men will dump their stolen cars in these parking lots near where they live, and that gives us a place to look for them, obviously. I tell people it's not rocket science finding these stolen cars, but what it is it's just a lot of tedious work. And obviously if they're out driving them around, we could tell just by their driving behavior what's going on. A lot of times they drive very dangerously, and that will draw our attention to them, and then we can run the plate and sure enough come up with stolens or cars that were carjacked, or it's pretty regularly that we actually will see the car, stop it, and make arrests before the owner even realizes the car's been stolen, or before the stolen it's been entered in as a stolen.
Why was that interesting?
To say the least. Feels like Sosa.
Clear traffic.
Vehicle 7 showing you clearing traffic at 1522.
Make a little trip here around the mall. I got a message from a backseater that she's standing outside the door of the mall. I think I can find her, but maybe not.
That's going to be a Viper Township of 5751 Orchard Avenue. To assist fire. Neighbors is backyard burning.
What do I got there?
68 clear.
If this mall was being sold on Facebook Marketplace, they would advertise it as mid-century modern, which means basically it's seen its better day. If I see something on Facebook Marketplace or Craigslist that says mid-century modern, basically what it means is something my parents had in their house when I was a kid. Uh-oh, I found her. What's going on?
Hey, Mike.
How are you? Good. How's
Good
the
to see
sustainable safari today?
Sustainable Safari's good. Main people here as well.
Oh, how are you? What's your name?
Taylor.
Taylor. Okay. We're with Taylor and Tara out here. Does everybody have to have a T name?
Not all of them. Nope.
Oh.
But I did just walk a fox named Todd.
You did?
Yep. Just got done harness training red foxes.
Oh, nice. You could come train the ones in my back.
Love to.
They're round. There's one with 3 legs. around, and it's been around
Yeah,
forever.
pretty amazingly.
Yeah, I mean, it moves. You'd have to, because there's coyotes and
Live nearby.
in New Brighton.
Right. Okay, so a little
Yeah.
ways.
Yeah, so, but it's in the city still. So, what other animals do you have in there that people could come see?
Kangaroos, alligators, monkeys, snakes, lions.
You lost me at snakes. Hootie. I like it. Like Hootie. In the blow. Text. So
That's what probably who was just messaging me too. So, and Ep is about getting ready to come pick me up. He's actually finishing up another person, their birthday. So,
oh,
but
well, cool.
how did your wife like the photo?
Oh, she loved it. Yeah, thanks. No, it was awesome.
Yes.
Yeah, why don't you wave to everybody? That's Sustainable Safari at Maplewood Mall. So if you come here, you can go on safari and you don't even have to go to Africa.
No, you don't.
Or
No,
Australia.
you don't. No,
We
you
have
get to
some
pet-
people from Australia watching.
Oh, that's
So-
right. Yep. The good backseaters. That's awesome.
Yeah, we stole one of your kangaroos. So, well, thanks.
Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate you stopping.
Yeah, no
Be
problem.
safe.
Have a good one.
Okay.
We'll
take
see ya.
care. Bye, Mike.
I had no idea until we had a meet and greet, and Tara was there and said that she worked at the Sustainable Safari in Maplewood Mall. I had no idea that was a thing. And so that's interesting. I'll have to check it out sometime. It's weird that I just happened to see her comment fly by as I was still up here. So we'll see. We'll head down to the east side of St. Paul and see what's going on down there.
We got an unoccupied zone in front of like 300 uranium. Wasn't here a little bit ago. It's going to be our suspect from the apartments. If we can get intel to do a little checking to see if we can GPS it. Foxcom Edward 246. Foxcom Edward 246.
All right, so I'm gonna head down. The CAT team found a stolen car outside of one of our suspects, I don't know, houses, I guess, apartments, and
West uranium? Off of Western?
they're checking to see if we have permission to place a GPS puck on it, and hopefully maybe we could get the suspect in custody. So I'm gonna head down that way just in case there's some excitement at some point. But one of the things we do obviously is check, like I just did, areas around our prolific auto thief, and sure enough, vehicle.
Go, Chief. Have a good night. Good to see you.
So that vehicle stolen from 787 Hampton Avenue overnight. By that address on fire.
Yeah, we see if we can fuck it. It's gonna be one more fun.
So I'm gonna cut down here on Highway 61 down into the area where they're watching that stolen car.
System just advised that they confirmed that she is still actively trying to use her walker to hit the pump.
6-1, I'm not seeing there. We're go forward. You can clear 6-0.
2267, you clear.
6-0, I have clear.
1532.
One 097-587 097-587.
Thank you.
Forty-four, 41, so.
44, 41, go for both.
Philly Cove,
83.
It's true.
So we're headed south now on 61, which as we get closer down to St. Paul, we'll turn into Arcade.
Squad copy.
83.
I don't know what it is about with names change on streets.
Liberty County
Straight,
Rosie, Charlie.
same street. Someday when I'm governor of Minnesota, I'm going to require streets to keep the same name. There's none of this Highway 61 to Arcade to something else. Confusing.
I
know back when Jesse Ventura was the governor, he got in a little bit because he said that the streets in St. Paul were designed by drunk Irishmen. The Irish people buy it. He's getting in trouble. We're just passing Keller Regional Park area. It's a place for people to walk and picnic. There's some really cool picnic facilities there.
Copy 184, another squad at target 1300 Uni.
Joe Kill, would I be able to walk up to it without being seen in the apartments?
Yeah, I believe so.
I'm gonna turn the radio down just a little bit for now because the CAT team is strategizing about what they're gonna do with this vehicle and if the bad guy's watching. St. Paul's chasing one over on University.
10-1.
turn that on so you can hear it.
Caller, 280 status or 184 status.
I'm code 4. I got one in custody here. I need to get another squad to help me transport him.
Copy, one in custody at Target. I got 2 squads on the way.
Alright, that's what I like to hear. They got him in custody. The officer's a little out of breath, which is fine.
I've got my fucking phone here.
Got the suspect in custody, and sounds like nobody's hurt. So
At 100%. And I got a corona.
I want to give a quick shout out to all of the seniors that are graduating from high school this year. You didn't have an easy go of it with COVID and all the lockdowns and hybrid learning and all that stuff, but you stuck in there and you graduated. And as a guy who's older, who had it a lot easier, we appreciate it, and good luck at college or work as you move forward into your life. And I have a lot of graduation parties to go to coming up here. Sorry I missed yours, Laney Drock from Concordia Academy. Had to work Saturday night, so couldn't go there, but it sounds like it was a great time.
Sorry, I just got off the phone. En route from 36 went there.
So we're at Maryland and Arcade here. Drop back down into the east side of St. Paul. And I probably will leave it a little bit vague as to where we go from here, just because I don't want to tip off any knuckleheads that are watching.
Just FYI, you guys, I'm on my way to a wake. Not working. Can't give me a call real quick. Yeah, who's this? The most awesome day shift sergeant in the Gatian. I'd have to look you up. We are.
So we're on Maryland right now at Payne.
Yeah, that's what I'm put right now, walking up the vehicle.
always picks up a little bit when the weather gets better and people come out and about and they run into people they haven't seen in a while.
Where do you want me to go once we get there? Why don't you stay right up on Clark right for now? Front and plug are in place. Front and plug are in place. You should get somebody to the north on Clark right. Or on somebody to the north on Westminster, just north of the apartment, right of sight. Maybe that next street. In case he flips around. And then we'll keep one up on Park right here. I'm gonna try to figure out if I can park in someone's driveway here and keep an eye on the vehicle. Or if I can see someone coming through. I'll take our right. What address? 1540. It's 316 during. Wow.
So, just hanging out in the area here.
Say 346 during. If they're familiar with anyone's squad, it's going to be mine, so I'll try and take a position that's useful but out of sight.
So I'm just pulled over here for a second in the area where the CAT team is watching that car and waiting to see if anything develops quickly here. I'm going to look at what other calls are going on.
22, 38, 35, 40. 18,
Okay, the puck is attached to the underside of the front passenger seat. And terminator is in place behind or in front of the right rear tire.
No, it's right here.
So there's a, I don't know, about
It's kind of hard to keep eyes on it. We're pretty exposed here. Do you want to...
25 calls going on right now
I mean, try to figure out a way to keep eyes on it. So,
across the county. There's an accident with injuries
second idea. I just wanted to get mobile.
at Western and Colmo, where
Don't
a
have
car
enough people to go
crashed
through. We can get away with
into a
it. So if
fence,
we can get eyes on it,
and the
just try to
driver
keep
appears to
walking
be
towards it, get closer, just
seizing.
follow up on it, and at least ID that person.
And let's see.
We essentially know where our suspect is
There's
coming
some theft
from.
calls,
I
a harassment
don't know if I'm
report.
taking a spot up on Westminster, just north of the apartment, but I can sit up there and at least get eyes on
The robbery's still
Westminster,
pending
get our
from
suspect
earlier.
off the street. Copy 235. 235 en route. 1546. I copy. We need him in the driver's seat, though, guys. I agree, but we probably don't have the manpower to follow it around again for hours. And traffic's only going to be getting worse
So one of the good things is the CAT team talks, strategizes, and figures out the best way.
Everyone's gonna start tightening up. They get the vehicle. We'll do what we can to do it right there. We need them in the driver's seat.
Try to figure out the best way to proceed with the vehicle. If the guy comes out to get in it, they've already done a couple things to help prevent having to chase the vehicle.
Caleb, do you want to get bid assignments right now based off where we're at?
So, Killer, you're on geranium, right? It's right in front of you. It's in front of me. I'm blocked by a SUV where I'm going to try to keep an eye on it. If I can get in someone's driveway, I'm going to do that.
So I apologize, we're kind of boring right now, but the CAT team's strategizing and doing what they do best, figuring out the safest way to take the suspect into custody without
Have an eye on it.
jeopardizing public safety. And we're just gonna hang out in the area.
Yeah, it'll be a haul. That's the only option.
Sorry, is it facing east or west?
Don't find the street. Running another piece of the ship on the street and then we'll both take front.
I can take the 45. I'm sitting just east of Arkwright, facing west on. I pulled around and stopped on Magnolia. I'm sorry. I'll be up at Geranium in a minute.
So it is interesting
So
to
the thought I had in mind, just what the apartments is no good. We got a massive boat parked at Rose and Westminster that's obstructing the whole view. I'll try and find a position that I can take up that's out of sight, but I can still act as the rear blocker.
So you're going to be able to see if anybody comes out of the building and start walking in this direction. That's going to be key.
I'll try and find a good spot.
And yes, that was Pat that you heard on the radio. Pat's out here. Sounds like Thomas Siegelstrom, Joe Kill.
I am. It's going to be really tough for me to get close because as soon as he hears my accelerator, he's going to look at me, no matter how light I hit it. Well, I'm going to set up just short of a stop sign you just passed, and I'll be able to get up there fairly quick. Joseph Miller. Cool. You busy? What do you say to a little drone action?
So they're asking Jelly Joe if he can put up a drone in the area that allows them to monitor the vehicle without having to be in sight. And
You know, I'm just below the crest of a hill here where I don't think they can actually, like, see the grill of my Durango. And I'll be able to see if anyone gets in that car or approaches it.
Copy that.
Well, Kill, you've got direct eyes on it, you said, right?
Through a truck parked in the driveway, so I have maybe.
So if you have not yet, please share this with your friends on Facebook or YouTube so that they can enjoy the fabulous work of the cat team, as I am.
Well, just in case, it's probably a stretch, but there is our age range just got off a school bus here, walking west on the north side of Geranium, wearing a black hoodie with the hood up. It's not going to be an orange cat. It's an orange.
He just walked by me, got into the house right now.
So one of the things we want to do is avoid
Hey, Kill, do you think you can just jump in the driveway on that street? Go close to him?
getting in a chase with a car when the school's letting out and school buses are dropping kids off.
Perfect. So you got the front, Kyle, you got the back. Atrium, I'm northbound Westminster, just south of Jetson Line. I hope this is far away enough that I don't get burned. I will be able to see any suspects walking across Westminster to the east. And the Kill is it's closer to Westminster, correct? Than it is Arkwright.
Hey, it's right off of Westminster.
Copy.
New message.
They request a break, 2099 Ford Parkway, assist transit. They had 5 shoplifters that are on the bus. They were just seen exiting near Snelling and Grand.
179, this is advised, 159 Norfolk.
159, can you back?
Yep.
So I'm getting messages. I won't say what they are just because of confidentiality, but we get messages all the time asking us to look for particular cars or individuals who are wanted from other jurisdictions. They call it a cops alert, and goes out to the whole metro area, sometimes statewide, depending on the situation. And a lot of times it's officer safety type information, like someone has been threatening to commit suicide by cop or threaten to assault police officers if they get a chance.
309.
Can we have another car, please? We're code 4, but that might be temporary.
Taking another squad assist, 339 and the DOC and 1959 burned from Southwestern.
There's
You do have a direct eye on the vehicle?
I see the discussion about communications. There's absolutely nothing more important in our line of work than good communication.
Okay. So if I do see a suspect coming across Westminster, we're going to have to work fast. So I'll call him out, start tying him up, and then Pat, you'll have to kind of call it because I will be on eyesight of the suspect vehicle as he would be hypothetically approaching it. So please keep an eye on it and let us know if he does inevitably get into the vehicle. Copy that.
If I would you be willing to take on once we get to go?
It's amazing how law enforcement's changed. In the 30 plus years that I've been a cop, we didn't have cell phones. We didn't obviously have phones that could take pictures or the ability to share intelligence that way. Everything was printed. And now we can send suspect photos, suspect vehicle photos, all that kind of stuff to each other. And it makes it a lot safer.
We haven't put eyes on this guy yet. We just have a known suspect from a previous interaction with him. Oh, copy. Misunderstood.
person. 498 Roselawn.
Yeah, they have a known suspect who lives at 1145 Westminster in the apartment building there. Light skin, black male. His picture was thrown on one of the threads. I forget which one.
All right, everybody, close your eyes for a minute. I'm gonna see. I guess my camera lens is fuzzy, so we'll see if we can make it better. There we go. Hopefully that works.
That picture was shared on the Sheriff Intel thread last Friday at about 9:30 in the morning.
Rondo Walker. Right, that has not yet been covered. Reach the triple to 15.
I thought that panel here outlet drawn way in a park at like Mississippi and Jasmine. There's a little trail in there. Fly from there. Watch.
That'd be huge, guys. Thank you. I'll get more out of sight than what you guys have said.
Yeah, I'm glad I didn't drop you on your heads this time. I'm just gonna try to move it over a little bit here, see if I can get a little better picture. You can tell this is a very professional operation here. I'm pretty sure I won't be invited to the photojournalists award ceremony. So what else can we talk about? The legalization of marijuana is a huge topic right now in the state of Minnesota. On August 1st, marijuana will be legal for recreational use in the state of Minnesota by if you're 21 or older. Sounds like I think you could have up to 2 ounces in your vehicle or on your person at any given time, and 8 plants at your house. But we'll see what the unintended consequences of some of that are. I know we don't have any official dispensaries right now. They're in the process of licensing those and determining regulations.
Target. Yeah, we're over here.
It's still illegal to be under the influence and drive, so keep that in mind. And it's also illegal to possess firearms and narcotics at the same time, or to possess firearms if you're a regular user of marijuana. Those are federal laws. You also have to declare when you purchase a firearm that you are not a regular user of marijuana. So there's going to be some growing pains, no doubt, and we'll work through it. I just my concern is for the mental health of the young people that now will start smoking marijuana and to self-medicate, deal with anxiety and other stuff, and then not realize that there are consequences to that. But we'll find out.
So the GOA was 529, and we'll have for that police stage at 10-seater.
That's a 10-seater. If that's you, it's not coming through. 242 go.
We're for completed. We have one female. She looks like she's pregnant and she's crying.
Copy, the horn was going on. You said one female pregnant crying. 1603.
If I thought that the additional revenue would be used properly to help fund things and maybe reduce taxes, I would feel a little better about it. But I think most likely I don't trust that the state legislature will make the right decisions on how that money is spent. And it should be going back to public safety, law enforcement, regulatory services, and maybe education. But I don't know that that's what's going to happen. I'm looking at the pending calls. There's about 15 pending calls right now. Several parking complaints, couple accidents, disorderly conduct, some 911 hang-ups, which aren't unusual. People accidentally dial 911 on their phone, but you always have to check it out just in case it's someone actually dialing 911 who then can't talk freely.
2267, you can send me the welfare check. 4616305.
6186.
61 squad copy, thank you.
I see Mark Rybczynski. This isn't Happy Talk. Let's talk about the Marine Division. Well, we don't call it the Marine Division, but we have Water Patrol. We should call them the Marines. That might, give them some motivation But they're out this time of year. We have water patrol deputies out patrolling the Mississippi River and White Bear Lake.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to go slow roll into this one, boys. I think we just need to come in hard and heavy.
They respond to all kinds of water emergencies, from people drowning to people whose boats have broken down and they're stranded. And they just do a tremendous job. I can't say enough. Some are sworn deputies, some are volunteers, some are part-time deputies who have, retired and only do it part-time during the summer. And one of our sergeants, Jeremy Bolin, was able to work with the fire department and save a lady on Battle Lake this past week, which was kind of cool. She was drowning. We rely on the Minnesota State Patrol for air resources, for helicopters and planes that can help us out on scenes. The State Patrol helicopter's just a tremendous help when we're looking for someone in a perimeter who's fled and maybe hiding, or we're in a pursuit and trying to reduce the how dangerous the pursuit is by having the helicopter overhead and following the car, so we don't have to follow it as fast with lights and siren and risk the public. They're just great, and they have fixed wing aircraft that can do the same thing. And they're just tremendously helpful for looking for lost people and monitoring major events if we have marches or parades or those type of things, traffic issues. They're great for street racers, the street racers and the exhibition drivers, because they can videotape what's going on from overhead and then basically follow those vehicles until they can be safely stopped. And it's tremendous. Although I will say they scared me this morning, because I went to put gas in my work car at our patrol station, and the State Patrol helicopter flew over really low. I don't know if they were doing something with the National Guard that have a base up there, but it caught me off guard when all of a sudden I hear the helicopter coming through.
44, 49 Tango.
44, 49 Tango.
Can you pull me out of PCN at 2196 White Bear Ave?
I know it's probably kind of boring right now, but I'm gonna just drive around a little bit because I can still stay in the area and move in when it's time. But
Darren, I saw you earlier. Are you still working?
we'll just drive around a little bit here and give you something better to look at than just one scene. And who knows what's going to happen. But welcome to our world. This is hurry up and wait and sit there and sometimes we just quick recover a stolen vehicle and be done with it, but other times when we think we can apprehend someone who's been stealing a lot of problems, we will sell ours. And
With Miller and France who drone, I guess one of them could still do it. And if they do break containment on us, they have an available to location.
so we're still, the cat guys are still talking about the best way to proceed and contingency plans.
Appeared in the street here. But he's used to the car.
Physical fight in the parking lot between a mother and the daughter. The daughter is possibly unstable but no weapons. She's going to be a 14-year-old, but possibly looks older, black female.
We're westbound on Maryland, approaching 35E, about to cross over Westminster.
Please change words to a PIC. Copy that.
Popping over here into the Central District for a minute and check out some areas where we've had other stolen cars recovered.
Where do you go before?
45 over.
Putting on TCN at 1880 English Street North, number 15.
So again, for those of you who just joined, we're in the city of St. Paul, Minnesota, in Ramsey County, and my name is Mike Martin.
He's going to set up on rolls to the north, TCN. not a good team.
I'm an undersheriff with the Ramsey County Sheriff's Office, and our sheriff is Bob Fletcher, who is out here, by the way, leading by example. He's out here with us and believe he needs to pull up his shirt sleeves and put in the same work that he's asking us to do. But the secret is he loves it. So he loves being out here. He loves making the community safer. And a couple of years ago, he decided to start this Live on Patrol where we take turns patrolling and showing you what we do is educational opportunity, and making sure that you have an opportunity to see that we're real people, that there's more to us than just the fact that we're sheriff's deputies or police officers. And I oversee the CAT team, the carjacking and auto theft team, as well as intel and our violent crime enforcement team, our investigations team, general investigations, and as collateral duty, I also oversee the SWAT team and the mobile response team, which is groups that obviously respond when we need them, who also have other full-time jobs. So I'm sure I missed something, but I get to have a lot of get to oversee a lot of the more teams, but that means you also have to accept a little bit more, responsibility and make sure people are, which takes good supervision, really setting clear expectations of and prioritization of what's important to us, and obviously public safety is the most important to us, and officer safety and preserving life and property are always going to be number one. And that includes the suspects. We want to apprehend the suspects safely and so that they don't get hurt either. Sometimes they want to fight or resist, and we can't control that. But my job is to make sure that they have the tools that they need and that they're trained up and know what's expected of them. And we have a great team in every aspect. All the units that I oversee, we have good supervisors, and that makes a huge difference. Tell you, there are more and more motorcycles out over the last couple weeks, and I always worry about motorcycles. Their attention and it's and stop sign. When you hit a motorcycle, it's level of injury, especially if they're not wearing a helmet. And in Minnesota, we don't have a helmet rule. surprises me. Minnesota is a very a state that believes the government has a role in protecting people. I don't know what you'd call it, but we require seat belts and bike helmets and glasses and eye protection, but we don't require a helmet on a motorcycle. So it's a little inconsistent to me. One of the cool things we do get to do is if we see kids that are riding their bike with a helmet on, we have coupons from Dairy Queen for them to get a free ice cream cone. And I just saw a young lady here that's about to cross the street with her parents on her bike, and she's got a helmet on.
Hey, Sarge.
I don't know, I'm seeing things now, but if that's the case, I'm going to give her a coupon.
Are you making a joke?
Oh. Oh, she's got a helmet on, but she's not on a bike. But I still like it.
I'll be clear with district. Right back to Central. Everything's for the assistant.
So even though she's not on a bike. Oh, she is on a bike. That's what I thought. All right, here we go. When she walks by, we're gonna give her a coupon for wearing a helmet on her bike.
Miller, did you say you're up with the drone?
I'm just watching out.
Are we going to be getting a link to this?
What a cutie.
Just got it as I was asking.
She had a helmet on that was a shark. It had a shark thing on top.
Buses letting kids out all around us here right now.
So we're north on, oops, I got my lights on. We're north on Payne at Maryland. It took me a minute. One of the things that is really important is obviously at any given time that we know where we are in case we need help, so that we can, or someone else needs help, so we can call it out on the radio. And it's something that is probably one of the bigger challenges that new officers or deputies have is knowing their geography, knowing where they are at all times. And you learn little tricks to make sure you know where you are. Like in alleys, if I know when I was in the city of Minneapolis, if you drive down the alley, the address of the house is on the garbage dumpsters that they put out in the back and the recycling bins. So
I'll be out at 2740.
if you don't know exactly what address you're at, it helps. But especially if you duck into an alley where you're between streets.
Westminster Road facing south. Westminster Heartbreak and Rose.
It's a very important thing to know.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
We're northbound on Arkwright from Maryland. Just cruising around, looking for
sneaking up on anybody in that
stolens and waiting for any movement on the stolen car.
I hate to say it, but you're not sneaking up on anybody in that during the day. I agree. Pretty significant tree cover to the left of the vehicle, huh, Joe? I just took the picture. See if that's the right one. I think it's the right silver Kia, right? Yeah, that's a good thing. Head to the left a little bit to this sort of Main Street road. Go more. You're gonna keep getting north on Arkwright. I know it's not the park house, but out this area. Yeah, you can walk this way. Perfect, Joe. Actually, so since we have a strong suspicion that our target's going to come from the west, what I was trying to have you do is help me with establishing a visual with the path you can have to take from that apartment building to the target vehicle. So honestly, if you could even look at the intersection or the apartment building, yeah, and see if we have any targets matching our suspect description walking eastbound from there.
So we are still waiting. We're just driving around on the east side of St. Paul. The CAT team set up on a car, a stolen car, trying to apprehend the suspect that has been stealing cars in this area.
Have an APD at 10, 7 to 5 maybe.
Negative, all I got is a juvie at 19 Exchange. What do you have there?
All right. Well, I hate to do this, but I am going to stop broadcasting here so that I can turn up the radio and get in here and not be delayed. And we've been going for a couple hours, and I appreciate your sticking with me. And I will give you an update. Either the guys on Wednesday can give you an update, or I'll give you an update next Monday on what occurred here. So thank you so much for sticking with me. I'm just glad it didn't rain on us, but we still need rain, so everybody pray for rain. Thanks. All right, appreciate it, backseaters. Thanks. Have a good night.